Welcome back to another episode of The Chronicles of Rideshare Drivers. I'm your host, and today's story is a wild one we're calling the Pickering Ride. If you enjoy these real-life tales from the road, please do me a huge favor and like, share, and subscribe to our channel, Duality Hub. It really helps us keep these stories coming. All right, let's set the scene. The night had settled over downtown Toronto like a soft, dim blanket. You know the vibe. The city feels both alive and distant at the same time. Streetlights were glistening on the wet asphalt from an earlier drizzle, and the hum of traffic had that low-energy Friday evening rhythm. I was parked between Norris and Esplanade, just scrolling through ride requests, when her name popped up. At first, it seemed like just another downtown ride. I confirmed the pickup, drove a few blocks, and there she was on the corner, swaying just a little. Mid-aged, well-dressed, but with that dazed look of someone who's had a night full of laughter and maybe a few tears. I pulled up, opened the door with a polite, "Good evening," and she mumbled something back before sinking into the back seat. As I was about to pull away, her friend, a man on the sidewalk, stepped forward. He looked me straight in the eye and said, "Please, when you get to the spot, give me a call. Just make sure she arrives safely." I nodded. "No problem, I'll let you know." As soon as we were moving, she leaned back, her head tilting against the headrest, and her eyelids started to droop. She wasn't just tired. She was deep in that sleepy, tipsy haze. I decided to let her rest. Some rides don't need conversation, they just need careful navigation. The drive started smoothly. The neon signs of downtown blurred past as I checked the GPS. The destination was a shepherd street in Pickering. The route would take me across the Don Valley Parkway, past Scarborough, and out into the suburbs. About a 40-minute trip, give or take. I kept an eye on her in the rearview mirror. Her breathing was steady, but she'd twitch every now and then, maybe reacting to a dream. Her phone buzzed in her purse a few times, but she completely ignored it. As the city lights melted away behind us and we hit the highway, I couldn't stop thinking about her friend's request. "Call when she arrives." It sounded simple, but my gut was telling me this night might not be so straightforward. Halfway through the drive, I caught a faint smell of alcohol. It was subtle, but it was there. I just kept my focus on the road ahead. You see a lot of things driving at night in Toronto, but nothing really prepares you for the unexpected. A few minutes later, I glanced at the GPS again. We were exiting the highway and turning onto these smaller, quieter streets in Pickering. The streetlights were sparse, and overgrown trees started lining the road. I felt a little twinge of caution. Just then, she stirred in the back, her head rolling slightly as if she sensed the change in scenery. "Almost there," she murmured. I glanced back at her in the mirror. "Almost," I said. But even I could hear the uncertainty in my voice. Something just didn't feel right. And then we turned a corner. Ahead of us, barely visible in the shadows, was the address. For a second, I thought my GPS had glitched. But no, the building was there. It was old, abandoned. The windows were dark, some were broken, and the whole property was being swallowed by overgrown grass and trees. The silence was heavy, unnatural, the kind of quiet that makes your stomach tighten. I hesitated, my eyes flicking from the creepy building back to my passenger. I tapped the back of the front seat gently. "Mom, we're here," I said softly. Her eyes blinked open, clouded with confusion, as she looked at the abandoned building. No, this isn't my address," she said, her voice shaky. And just like that, my stomach sank. This wasn't a simple wrong turn. I had a confused, tipsy woman in my car, in a deserted area, late at night. And her friend was expecting me to make sure she got home safe. I took a slow breath. Okay, think. This was just the beginning. Okay, I said, trying to keep my voice calm and steady. Can you give me the correct address? She paused, like she was trying to pull the information from a fog. It's somewhere else, she said. About 10-15 minutes from here. I nodded. 10 minutes. Not too far, but the roads were already isolated. All right, I said, putting the car back in drive. We'll go there. She leaned back and closed her eyes again, but her breathing was shallow and uneven now. That's when the real unease started to creep in. As we started moving, the GPS routed us along Concession Road. The streetlights flickered, casting these long, distorted shadows across the asphalt. I kept glancing at her in the rearview mirror. She was quiet, but there was a tension in the way she held her hands, a slight tremble in her arms. About 7 or 8 minutes into this new drive, it happened. Suddenly she screamed, "I miss my husband! I miss my husband!" My heart jumped into my throat. I instinctively slammed on the brakes, the tires screeching on the quiet road. I took a deep breath, trying to calm my own racing pulse. This wasn't just drunkenness anymore, this was panic. "Ma'am, hey, calm down," I said, keeping my voice firm but gentle. "We're okay, just take a breath." But she just shook her head violently, her voice rising hysterically. "Stop the car! Stop the car! I miss my husband!" I was frozen. My eyes scanned the road, and I saw headlights coming toward us. I flagged the car down desperately. It slowed, and a couple rolled down their window. "Can I help?" the man asked. I stepped out, my hands slightly raised, and quickly explained, "I'm a rideshare driver. My passenger is disoriented, upset. I'm just trying to get her home safely." The couple looked at each other, then back at me. "Sounds like the safest thing you can do is call the cops," the woman said. My stomach sank, but I knew she was right. This was way beyond my pay grade. I got back in the car and dialed 911. The dispatcher's voice was calm and firm. I explained everything, my name, the passenger's details, the abandoned building, the new address. "Mom is hysterical," I said. "She's upset, she's tipsy. I'm just trying to get her safely home." The dispatcher asked if I could put the passenger on speaker. I hesitated but agreed. And the moment the dispatcher's voice came through the car speakers, something incredible happened. The passenger's entire demeanor shifted. The hysteria, the screaming, the confusion, it all just vanished. She became calm, coherent. She answered every question clearly, giving her name and address like nothing had ever been wrong. I just sat there, stunned, gripping the steering wheel. It was like someone had flipped a switch. The dispatcher confirmed the new location was just 3 minutes away and asked how I wanted to proceed. The passenger said she wanted me to take her home, no police needed. I agreed, but I told the dispatcher I wanted her to stay on the line until we arrived safely. She stayed on speaker as we continued. The tension in the car was different now, a fragile kind of calm. And then, almost comically, my passenger suddenly shouted, "Oh, my shoe, I can't find my shoe." The dispatcher, without missing a beat, calmly replied, "That's not our problem. Focus on getting home safely." I couldn't help it. I let out a soft laugh, shaking my head at the sheer absurdity of the night. The chaos, the panic, the 911 call and a lost shoe. What a ride. And believe it or not, the story isn't over yet. Make sure you're subscribed for part 2. Thanks for watching, and stay safe out there.